Stay with that story as several areas are experiencing widespread power outages and officials are urging residents to avoid all non-essential travel. Let's now get the latest from the Tambo District Mayor, Mesuli Ngqondwana. A very good morning to you, Mayor. Thank you so much for making time for us this morning. Confirmation earlier on coming from the provincial government spokesperson that 2 other people have also now died due to this weather that has been experienced in your district especially. What can you tell us about the 2?
Yes, it is correct that 2 more people have been discovered and the number now sits at 9. But obviously, in addition to that, there's quite a couple of bodies that includes those of the school kids that were swept away traveling with a school bus. But I can also confirm that there's a couple of families, I think 3 of them. We've got confirmation that last night their houses were still submerged underwater and there were occupants inside. So that's likely to take our numbers very high.
What's the latest death toll that you have, Mayor?
The confirmed death toll with bodies retrieved is 9.
Confirmed death toll with bodies retrieved is 9. You are making mention of the school children. Would that number include school children as well?
No, it does not.
Okay, that number does not include the school children. Let's then quickly speak then, Mayor, about that school children, the bus that was swept away. What information have you received so far about that incident?
The fact is that, unfortunately, we could only talk to the owner of the bus, who would not be exactly sure about the number of children that had actually boarded the bus. But the number that was shown off from the scene was 14. Then 3 of those were successfully rescued, and others would not be successfully rescued. So a straight confirmation will be possible only this morning when it has been confirmed how many of those kids were supposed to be in the bus that did not board it yesterday morning.
Yeah, what's the reference to the 14 that you're speaking about?
I beg your pardon on that one?
You just mentioned 14. What's the reference to that? What's the purpose of that?
I'm talking about the total that we can confirm on our own that had boarded. And I say 3 of whom were rescued successfully, meaning which they did not die. And the 11 could not be successfully rescued.
So the 11 would still be missing?
I understand that 2 bodies could be discovered and 9 could not.
Okay, so sorry, Mayor. I'm just going to ask us to go a little bit back now. So you say 14, have boarded the bus. This is now 14 children, yes. But there could be more, yes. But 14 have been confirmed that have
yes.
boarded the bus, yeah. And then
yes.
you mentioned that the 3 that have been rescued, meaning that 11 are still missing.
Yes. In fact, I understand that 2 of the bodies could be retrieved. It's 9 that could not be retrieved.
Okay, when you say 2 bodies could be retrieved, are you saying that these would be children who have passed on?
Yes.
Okay. And what information have you received with regards to those 2 bodies, Mayor?
No, all the bodies that could be retrieved have been placed at the government morgue.
I'm specifically speaking about the children now, Mayor.
Yes, we are together.
Okay, so meaning that it is possible that the death toll could rise to 11?
Yes, it is highly possible.
It is highly possible, and you are confirming that 2 children's bodies have now been recovered?
Yes.
Okay, so I think that then concludes that the death toll is now at 11.
The 2 bodies of the children that we're talking about, they are part of the overall number that we're giving you, that is 9. There were some people that died that were not necessarily part of the bus.
Yeah, that's what I was asking right at the beginning of our chat, if the 9 bodies would include that of children.
Yes.
Okay, so the 9 bodies include that of children.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Have you received any information as yet from parents that would have reported their children missing?
No, that work had not yet been completed. As I was saying, that the struggle was that it's only the owner now who was not sure exactly how many kids boarded the bus, but there is understanding that not all kids that were supposed to have boarded did board owing to weather conditions. So that process of determining exactly who are those that remained behind, we will get to understand it this morning.
All right. Then let's quickly speak about issue that I raised a bit earlier on with the provincial government spokesperson, and that is around schooling, considering the areas that are affected. Do you know of any schools that would have had to have shut down because of the inclement weather in the OR Tambo district municipality?
Yes, even yesterday, quite a lot of schools made the announcement and did not open even yesterday, actually anticipating the disastrous situation that would later ensue. But I can also mention that from the reports, there are 3 schools in the KSD areas that have been reported will not be able to commence even today, owing to the actual damage now in the infrastructure.
Yeah. And as it stands currently, Mayor, you do not need any additional assistance for the search and rescue efforts. Is the municipality well capacitated for this particular rescue mission?
The rescue teams from across the province were here even yesterday and had started with the search. So it's not a matter we're handling alone as the municipality. SAPS is fully and wholly on the scene. The South African National Defence Force is here. They had committed to dispatch further personnel starting from this morning.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Mayor. Just a quick one, just quickly again on the bus, Mayor. Do you know whether the drivers' whereabouts? Do you know anything about the drivers' whereabouts?
No, I could not establish that.
Okay, then. Thank you so much. That is Mesuli Ngqondwana, who is the OR Tambo District Municipality Mayor.